Hello again, YouTubers and Cardfight fans. 24/7 here again for Cardfight 24/7 with another Cardfight Vanguard deck profile video brought to you by CardfightCapital.com, your top source for everything Vanguard. Our current estimate is Friday release launch for the website. We want to make sure we test as much as we can for bugs and stuff like that. So when we do actually launch, it's fully functional and stuff as much as we can. But play it by ear. We may try to launch a little earlier than that with just the e-commerce and then add card of the day and blogs and stuff like that ASAP afterwards. But I'll keep you guys updated best I can and we'll go from there. But for today's deck profile, we have a Dimension Police ZEAL deck profile. This is the deck I use at my team regional. I'm not going to give any spoilers in this video as to how the team regional went. I should have a video up within 24 hours of this one with a full tournament report. I figured it best I do the deck profile first. That way you guys can comment and discuss the deck, how you think I did, before I actually let you guys know how it went. So while watching this, feel free to comment below as much as you want with anything you think is stupid, smart, whatever, things you think that I should have built or done differently in the deck. And I'll consider any and all suggestions for any tweaks for the deck for the future. So the starting Vanguard is, of course, Larva Beast ZEAL, the grade 0 of the ride chain. When you ride the grade 1 on top of that, you can look at the top 7 cards of your deck, and if the grade 2 or 3 ZEAL is there, you can take one of them and add it to your hand, so it's a +1. And if you ride anybody but the grade 1 ZEAL on top, you can call it to an open rear guard, you know, the foreigner ability that, don't use that terminology in English yet, but that is what it is called. Then for the triggers, we've got 4 Guide Dolphins. In a pinch, if you need to add power for a late push, that's the only one that has an ability to gain 3,000 when you put in your soul. So I run 4 of that one, 2 of Decabellon, and 2 Cosmo Fane. With all my triggers, if it doesn't hurt my strengths or whatever, I try to split them up as much as I can, just to basically give the opponent as little information as possible. As many different triggers as you show them, the harder it is for them to figure out how many of each you're running. So that is the reasoning for that. For the so 8 stand triggers total. Then for the draw triggers, we got 2 Army Penguin and 2 Gem Monster Jewel Mine. They're both just vanilla triggers, so I could run 4 of one, none of the other, 3 and 1, 2 and 2, whatever. And then something I changed right before the tournament, basically, and pretty much just because it's the best one format, I figure in best of 1, you're going to need some luck on your side, you're going to need some donk on your side, so I went with 4 critical. So no heals in the deck, which is actually how I did my Nova Grappler deck at the Stand-Up Cup Regional as well, which did not go well for that one though. But that deck was very Feast or Famine. This one's a little bit different. And this is the stand version of the deck, so I figure if the opponent doesn't know I'm running the crits until late game, they might be at 4 damage, figure it's safe to let the Vanguard hit, and a critical sneaks in there, which they weren't expecting, GG. But yeah, so I went with 4 crits. Feel free to discuss that in the comments below. You can call me an idiot or a genius or anything in between. But yeah, that is the trigger lineup. For the grade 1s, naturally we got 4 of the grade 1 ZEAL. If you got the grade 0 in Soul, which if you're riding it, obviously you do, he gains 1,000, so he's an 8k. And when you ride the grade 2 on top of the grade 1, with the grade 0 in Soul as well, then you subtract 3,000 power from your opponent's Vanguard. And we got 4 of the 8k Vanilla, Karen Roy Daisy, because you need some beef in there somewhere. 4 P-Guards, pretty standard in the current meta, and probably will be standard for a long time to come, I'm guessing. And then 2 Glory Makers. I playtested with the other potential 10k booster. For that one, your opponent's Vanguard needs to be 8,000 or less for it to get the extra 4,000. But I figure if you don't get the ride chain off, then that one's going to be 6,000 at all times, except for early game if you have it on the field like turn 1, turn 2, while your opponent has a grade 1 Vanguard. So Glory Maker, it gets plus 4,000 if you are at limit break, 4 damage or more. So late game, it's going to work every time basically, unless they're really holding back and getting limit break. So those are the grade 1s then, 14 of those all together. Grade 2s, we got 4 Devourer of Planet ZEAL. If you have the ride chain going, the grade 1's in the Soul, he's at 10,000. And if you ride the grade 3 on top with the full ride chain in effect, as the grade 0 has to be in Soul as well for it to work, when the grade 3 ZEAL rides, your opponent again gets minus 3,000 with the Vanguard for the turn. 4 of the 10k vanilla Twin Order, and 3 Super Dimensional Robo Die Lady. The only other grade 2 I really like for this deck, potentially similar to the other option of Glory Maker, if your opponent's Vanguard is 8,000 or less, the other grade 2 option has 8,000 power and gains 3,000 while attacking if your opponent is 8,000 or less for their Vanguard. But Super Dimensional Robo Die Lady, if she hits the Vanguard specifically, you can give one of your other units 3,000. And we'll go over some combo plays and stuff in perfect scenario settings and stuff like that in just a second here. Then the grade 3s, we of course have 4 of the grade 3 ZEAL. Again, so he'd be 11,000 if you got the ride chain. Well, 11,000 if the grade 2 is in soul. That's all you need for that. And if you are riding from the grade 2 with the full ride chain in effect, again, minus 3,000 the opponent's Vanguard when you ride. If you ride a grade 3 ZEAL on top of a grade 3 ZEAL, there's no other special effects though. His limit break ability, you can counter blast 2, and if you do, and you're limit breaking, your opponent's Vanguard gets minus 1,000 for each rear guard you have. So if by chance you are limit breaking when you ride him initially, you give him minus 3,000 potentially there, and if you have full field, limit break, give him minus 5,000. So you could subtract their Vanguard by 8,000 a single turn if you're at 4 damage when you're riding your grade 3, which is hard to do, especially if they know you're playing ZEAL. They may keep you at 3 and hit a rear guard or something instead, but anyways, then we got 4 Miracle Beauty. Because like I said, this is the stand trigger version, and Miracle Beauty, if she becomes stood during your battle phase, then you can also stand the rear guard unit behind her, assuming there's one there. So it basically multiplies your stands in a way. If I was playing without stands, I was playing 8 crits, 4 draw, 4 heal, or something like that, I'd probably go with Lady Justice instead of Miracle Beauty. Lady Justice is a 10,000 grade 3, and if you have a Dimensional Police Vanguard, then she gets plus 2,000 when attacking, so she's a 12,000. So she hits all those 11k Vanguards. Cross rides that are at 13k, not so much. So that is all the cards. Ideal setup, I would say. Obviously you're going to have the ride chain, so you got your grade 1, you got your grade 2, you got your grade 3. Got a Miracle Beauty out there. Got a Die Lady out there. Glory Maker behind the Vanguard. And then probably 2 vanillas. So I'd say this would be your Wayne image for a field, your perfect field that you would have. And then just say be at 4 damage, doesn't matter what those are. So just say you're at 4 damage, this card's in my hand, these are both in my hand or whatever. I ride, minus 3,000 your Vanguard. Drop Miracle Beauty, full field, limit break, minus 5,000 your Vanguard. So if they have an 11k Vanguard, it's now a 3k. Swim with Die Lady for 17k. If it hits, I give Miracle Beauty the 3k, because if she stands, the 3k is for end of turn, so it could benefit her multiple times. So then Swim with Miracle Beauty for 21k or that'd be 21k, 10-8 plus the 3. And then ZEAL will be swinging for 21,000. Then in that, if you get just 1 stand trigger, you stand Miracle Beauty, give her plus 5k, so she's at 18,000 now. He stands by default, then you got 26k for your 4th attacker. And you could get a second trigger or whatever. That's basically the perfect scenario. Obviously, that's not going to happen all that often to have your perfect field, but that's what you're shooting for. And since in this deck, I'm not running heals, I'm running the crits instead. If I don't have Die Lady out there, if I got anyone else, maybe just another ZEAL out there, whatever, doesn't matter too much. Then, because of the stands and her effect, I'm swinging with Miracle Beauty first for sure. And then I'll probably save this for last, so if they perfect guard the Vanguard or do a full block, whatever, if I get crits, I can apply it to my last attacker and apply more pressure there. That's pretty much it. Pretty self-explanatory. Not really sure what else I need to really explain, if anything. So like I said, this is the deck I ran at my team regional. My teammates ran Dote and Narukami. So comment below, let me know what you think of the deck build, how you think it did, what you think of the decision to go with 4 crits instead of 4 heals, and mixing the crits with stands. I did a very minimal testing with the crit version that had no stands and no Miracle Beauties, but I like this version a lot more, and I think a best of one, anything you can do to surprise your opponent and stuff like that especially, I think is beneficial. But I'll let you guys know how that all went tomorrow, within 24 hours from this video being posted. So in the meantime, again, comment below, let me know your thoughts on the deck, how you think we performed, and all that good stuff. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, give us a big thumbs up, check out cardfightcapital.com for all your Vanguard needs, at least once that launches. We'll have full e-commerce, forums, blogs, card of the day, and more at cardfightcapital.com. And before we launch, you can still join the mailing list if you haven't already, so you are alerted as soon as we go live with that website. You can also find the clickable link for that, as well as our 2 Facebook pages and our Twitter in the video description box below. So I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next video with my Team Regional Tournament Report. Thanks for watching, guys.